So in this video, let us discuss about the title and thumbnail, as these are the first impression for any viewer before clicking. After seeing title and thumbnail only, anybody starts clicking. So the both of these play a vital role to get at least CTR. So let us see and discuss about these two. What is the most important metric for YouTube success actually? This is one of the most frequently asked questions anyone get year after year. The answer is easy and it goes something like this. Everything starts with a click. If the people don't click, they won't watch. No matter how amazing your video is, end of the story. How do you get viewers to click? You earn their attention. Getting viewers to click is the biggest struggle I see for creators and brands alike. You have to get people to focus on your content outside of all distractions. So in earlier you learned the YouTube's job is to predict what the viewer will watch. The artificial intelligence is really sensitive to everything that viewers engage with on the platform, and it actually starts with an impression. An impression happens when a viewer is able to see a title and thumbnail for at least 1 second. This could be on the YouTube homepage, subscription feed, in search results, or suggested feed. If the viewer skips by the title and thumbnail quicker than 1 second, it doesn't count as an impression. If the click, that's what records your click through rate, CTR. An important note, the higher the impression and the CTR data, the better. That means YouTube is recommending your video out to a more general audience. The more it recommends, the more impressions you will get. The more impressions you get, the lower your CTR. So don't freak out that your CTR percentage is dropping when your impressions and views go up. That's a good thing because YouTube is showing it to more viewers outside your normal audience. Before YouTube ever gave you CTR data in Creator Studio, I know that it was really important just based on how I thought the algorithm worked. Success rates for ad campaigns focused so much attention on CTR data. I began split testing thumbnails and titles in AdWords for my biggest clients. We put in our audience demographics and interests and created an ad to see which one had the higher CTR. I was surprised when we changed out those winning titles and thumbnails and put them on YouTube. The videos would explode. I began begging the development team at YouTube to give creators that data. I knew it was a huge factor, so I continued to spend a lot of time, money, and energy learning about which titles and thumbnails worked because this was the only way to get people to watch or buy. Let me give you an example of how to do this. When my friend and team I created a squad pad ad. We made a Google Doc for title and ideas and added audience responded running A/B split testing on different titles and scenarios. Interestingly, the very first title and I had come up with eventually became the final title. This icon changed the way I performing title. So that is how it plays an important role. So let us see grabbing attention visually, how thumbnail plays an important this science. In my college I test practical application advertising. Let's do a quick exercise called the blink test. Close your eyes and then open them on a millisecond and look at the dots on the wall or the board. Just blink and then keep your eyes shut for a second. Notice where your eyes was drawn. It was drawn to a bigger circle. So for weeks I tested my crazy faces on my. I was amazed to see them. So this is. Imagine seeing 12 images flash on a screen in a fraction of a second. Do you think you can proceed each image? A team of neuroscientists from MIT have found that the human brain can process entire image that the eye sees in as little as 13 milliseconds. There is a Netflix research article called "The Power of a Picture" that reinforces the importance of an image help a consumer choose to watch. So all these researchers are saying thumbnails are very vital. They play a very vital role. The rules of thirds to make sure your image draws in the human eye, keep it in simple and balanced. A viewer feels more connected to a well balanced image because it feels aesthetically right. An image that appears static will always look less interesting. One of the first techniques a beginner photographer learns in a photography class is rule of thirds. It's an effective technique to compose a balanced photo by dividing it into thirds, both horizontally and vertically. The subject of the image is positioned at the intersection of those dividing lines along one of the lines itself. The dividing lines of the rule of thirds effectively breaks down an image into 9 parts. So, color psychology. Let us see what is color psychology. I watched a YouTube video about a 10 years old process different shades of color. In this video, Isaac Newton was studying about light and color at Cambridge University. He was observing how light was reflected into various colors. On a sunny day, Newton darkened his room by covering up his window with drapes, making a small allow just one beam of sunlight into the room. All these scientists and research have been proving color is also plays a vital role when catching any picture from our eyes. Color is an essential tool in your thumbnail image creation process because it has a huge impact on how viewers think and behave. Thumbnail strategies. Let us see. We have covered some of the science behind why thumbnails matter so much. Why? How creators capture viewers' attention with the photography techniques and the right color combinations. Now let's dive into the strategy. How do you use this information to your advantage? Before 2012, YouTube would auto select a random clip of a creator's video and set it as a thumbnail image. If the video's creator didn't like the auto image, they had to re-upload until they liked the option YouTube chose. I know because I used to do this. I knew how much thumbnail YouTube rolled out its partner program in 2012 and quietly added a new features to help their UIPP creators. Creators who belong to the partner program had a huge advantage with these features, one of which was being able to upload a custom thumbnail image. YouTube sent out an email to their YPP members encouraging them to use this new custom thumbnail feature. These selective YPP members, and there were not a lot at the time. Now he had a huge advantage over the general YouTube public. It didn't take long for many of them realize that and they could make sensational thumbnail images to get lots of clicks and views. This is when the clickbaiting tactic hit YouTube the hardest. YPP creators used baiting techniques like bright colors, arrows, emotionally charged facial expressions, and big cleavage shots to get viewers to click on their videos. They were being deceptive and misleading. Viewers took the bait and clicked, but it didn't take long for them to realize that the content didn't show what was advertised in the thumbnail. YouTube noticed trends in the data from the new custom thumbnails feature, so they started using different metrics to perform to inform their suggested video recommendations. This helped to minimize the clickbait problem. Clickbait can be good if your video content delivers on the promise and is not misleading the viewer. I've watched custom thumbnails transform YouTube. As as a marketer, I observed some things with thumbnails that I had never seen before in advertising. People got really good at learning thumbnail design strategies to get people to click more. These are simple strategies that any creator or brand can use, and I'll show you how to use them in data. So these are the thumbnails. Complex emotions on the face, person, people can may show some of the most common types of thumbnails on YouTube. Keep in mind that these examples are in uh, really make these things pop and make sense. I encourage you to go through a detailed thumbnail try. So these are the thumbnails. We can see face first, face and object. In face first thumbnail, your facial expression is the most important thing. The best way to connect with someone through the eyes. So make sure your face is up close and your eyes are nice and bright. Face and object. If you have an object to show, this strategy is a great way to pull in your audience. The emotional reaction on your face along with an interesting object will really make your thumbnail stand out. Object first. Sometimes the object is the star of the show. If this In this case your object should be right in the center, really big, really bold and really bright. Make sure there is no confusion to your audience on what to look at. So next thumbnail, two faces. If you plan on having two people in your thumbnail, you should have the faces on the left and right of the frame with the object in the middle. Don't forget to show emotion. Next thumbnail, three panel. A three panel thumbnail is perfect for showing progression. Your eye goes from left to right, so be sure to put the before on the left and after on the right. Remember that progression could mean time, but it could also mean change. Different colors can also help enhances the effectiveness of this thumbnail. Next thumbnail type is two panel. The two panel thumbnail is another way to show progression, the perfect example before and after. You can also frame it as right or wrong or real or fake. The exposition is what is important in this type of thumbnail. This type not only can apply to objects, it can apply to people's faces as well. Text to amplify thumbnail. Text can be super powerful when used sparingly. Text should only be used to help the audience's understanding or raise their curiosity. Keep text simple. If you can't tell a story with just your thumbnail, use text to clarify. Clip art. Use red arrows, circles, hand gestures, and emojis to redirect the viewer eyes to a specific person or object in the thumbnail. Perspective. Our minds are drawn to extremes, especially when it comes to really big things or really small things. Showing scale in your thumbnail in relation to you can help make your thumbnail really pop. Organized clutter thumbnail. If you have a lot of thing, you can use the organized clutter strategy. Placing yourself in a uniformly cluttered background can help you pop. Make sure there is a pattern in your background and not just clutter. The last thing you want is to have a messy thumbnail. Showing action. These thumbnails create the I wonder what's going to happen next effect. Curiosity ends the click. And this thumbnail strategy should always create curiosity. People love action movies and action shots, so when you can show action. Next thumbnail is colors drawn in the eye. Each color has an emotion associated with it. So how you use it to influence your how your audience feels about your thumbnail. Using the right color combinations can also help draw the viewer in. Some strategies are to use complementary colors or colors on the opposite side of the color wheel. That contrast will really make your thumbnail pop. So when you are designing your thumbnail, always keep in mind that the majority of YouTube viewers are watching on mobile devices now. You want to ensure your thumbnail looks clear when viewed on mobile. A lot of creators design on a computer, but you need to view on mobile to see what most viewers see. Ask these questions: are there any objects that are too small? How about things that you cannot easily distinguish? And do the blink blink test. Close your eyes and opening them to see what grabs your attention first. Super tip: I always want to see how my thumbnail looks compared to other thumbnails. To do a mock comparison, screenshot search results and Photoshop your thumbnail in with the list of results. This can be super powerful to see how the viewer would see your thumbnails. Thumbnails the right way. How to create thumbnails the right way is, let us see. To do thumbnail in right way, the plan ideas before you even shoot the video. Ask yourself, how do I explain what's going on without words? Then go through the thumbnail brainstorm list and come up with the ways you could use two or three different methods to design images for this particular video. Often it takes a combination of these tactics to capture viewers. Remember that the more emotion you put in the thumbnail, the more intriguing and clickable it will be. Then do a photo session before shooting the video. Take pictures from different angles and remember that simplicity sells. One extra word of advice here: don't take a screenshot of someone else's thumbnail with the intent of copying on yours. It is just wrong. The more you brainstorm consistently, the easier it will be to get your own creative juices flowing. Let us see what is thumbnail audit. You should have two or three variations of each thumbnail concept you choose, because you need options to test or to quickly change out if you are not getting a good CTR. Once you have completed the photo shoot and the images are edited and ready to go, you can go through your thumbnail options and ask yourself which image is more clickable. Do it actually portray the video content? Does it get the audience excited or intrigued? Would you actually click on that thumbnail? Next, let us see traffic sources and thumbnails. I have been known to create several types of thumbnails for the different stages of viewer consumption. I realize this is super nerdy and tactical, but I am really sensitive to where the impressions are occurring traffic sources and what the CTR baselines are. On some of the biggest videos I have worked on, we designed thumbnails that would get more clicks on the browse feature, YouTube homepage, and the subscription feed. Then we would switch out that thumbnail to a different thumbnail designed for higher CTR for suggested videos. Yes, there is a difference even on the granular level. I have seen a triple increase in views by using this strategy. It can help you if you will look closely at those CTR numbers. Let us see video titles. A Netflix study told us that once we grab the viewer attention with thumbnail, we have 1.8 seconds to make an impression with our titles. So let's not waste it. This can be the difference if someone will be watching your video or moving to the next thing that grabs their attention. So what makes a good title? You have considered the subconscious split decision a viewer is making when they look at your thumbnail and then title. In that split second, their brain is asking, is this video what I'm looking for? Do I really want to watch this video? Is this video going to be worth my time? Whether you like it or not, your YouTube titles help shape the viewer's decisions to click. Your title needs to satisfy the why and what. Your goal of a video's title or reinforce the thumbnail. It gives added context to what initially grabbed the viewer's attention. Make all titles clickable for humans and try to predict how your audience will respond. The title should be easy to remember, simple to explain, and easy to share. I want to take you through an exercise that I call macro and micro. This exercise has been super helpful in solving the problems in my career, but more importantly, in helping understand people's intentions and behavior. So, making clickable titles. Let us see. To make clickable title, you must satisfy the why by providing a value in that what. In the what. This is something that most creators struggle with for years. It can be a major stumbling block to getting people to connect with your content. I always have a brainstorming session on title ideas like what we did with the squatty patty ad. Then I refine the title to make it more compelling and clickable. Below are some tips and examples how to make titles more. Use active voice. Active voice titles are effective on YouTube because they are clear, to the point, can be easily understood. Be relevant, trending, and topical. Using trends and current events helps title become candy for the right viewer. For example, in the summer of 2020, SpaceX was use questions both open and closed ended. People use YouTube as search engine and they will ask specific questions. You can look at common questions viewer have about your topics and see auto populates in YouTube and Google search results. For example, how would you survive on Mars? Could you survive on Mars? Elon Musk's genius plan. Why are Mars? Include numbers for listicle video titles. This is by far one of the most powerful title and video strategies because it gives the viewers a clear idea of what to expect, a clear time limit, and helps viewers remember 7 essential reasons why humans need to colonize Mars, 5 extreme facts about black holes. Like this, these are the examples. State a problem and offer a solution. Problem always bring in human emotions. This can amplify the desire to click. If you can offer a solid solution, the title would promise to show what the solution might be. Possible problem solution titles for videos on my channel could here is how we can clean it up. Junkyard. Elon Musk's satellite internet is a mess. This is how you fix it. Create urgency. As humans, we have fear of missing out or FOMO. You want to be able to offer information that the viewer will want to see it right now. Creating a sense of urgency trigger the human fear of being on the outside. An urgent title for my channel could be, we need to colonize Mars now before it's too late. Use a trusted source. This can help those viewers that need validation to push them over the edge for the click. For example, NASA says Pluto is not a planet. Address the viewer. When you address the viewer in the video title, it makes them more willing to click because it feels like the video was made for them. For example, Chinese and Russians will beat SpaceX to Mars. And one more example, space tourism. You can book right now. Use emotional drama or polarizing words. There is a reason why people become curious onlookers at car crashes, fires, and fights. Most people are naturally drawn to drama, gossip, fights, injury, controversy, sexual and illicit behavior, and opposing forces. Bringing out the inherent drama in your video title can trigger an emotional response. Drama titles can be like this. Elon Musk calls Jeff Bezos a copycat. Not made on this earth. Pentagon reveals UFO findings. Next thing is capitalize your title or words. All titles should be capitalized. The first letter of each word, and sometimes you should use all caps. Using all caps is one of the easiest ways to grab attention in your title. For example, the earth is not flat. Amplify with attention grabbing words. Amplify the keyword or phrase title over the edge. Use words like ultimate, worst, best, faster, insane, crazy, wow, I cried. Good amplifying words for educational channels include do it yourself, easy, step by step, simple, amazing, quick, and now. Downloadable tools for title generation. There are many downloadable tools for title generation. You can see, okay, I found several tools that really speed up the process of keyword and phrase generation for titles. These tools have saved me thousands of hours. Get access to the tubeBuddy.com, vidiq.com, like this. So in this exercise you can do with a three tasks, simple task. Task number 1, using what you learned in this chapter, brainstorm 10 new title ideas for your next video. Narrow it down to 3 possible titles. Make sure your titles are easy and to remember and simple to explain and share. Task number 2, brainstorm 3 or 4 possible thumbnail ideas for each title. Use YouTube and Google Images to come up with the ideas to make the idea stronger. Pick a thumbnail strategy and sketch it out. Don't try about being an artist. Task number 3, get human feedback on these ideas from your mastermind group. This is what all about the thumbnails and other things. Strategies we have discussed, color psychology we have discussed, and rules of thirds we have discussed in this video, and grabbing attention visually by thumbnails. So in this video, overall title and the importance of titles and thumbnails and different strategies to follow to grab the attention of the viewer, we have seen in creating the thumbnails to get more CTR click through rates. That's all for this video. Let us meet in next video. Thank you.